instructions by the administration. Joining us from Washington, Senator Ben Sasse from Nebraska. First of all, your reaction to your colleague Elizabeth Warren and what she tried to do to Jeff Sessions.
Well, first of all, I just heard your last segment, and I think Geraldo predicted that we need to bring canes back on the floor of the Senate in the future. I think I heard references to grizzlies and knives. Let's face it, the Senate has fancied itself the greatest deliberative body in the world for 240 years, and for quite a long time it hasn't been that. That doesn't mean we should abandon that. That means we should go back to actually debating the biggest problems that face America. Right now the Senate isn't a very serious place. It needs to be again, and it's unfortunate when rules like that are violated.
Do you think that Senator Warren should have been allowed to read Mrs. King's letter?
You know, I think that there's all sorts of really important history of the civil rights movement that we should be celebrating, but the Rule 19, I know nothing says primetime television like esoteric rules of the U.S. Senate, but Rule 19 makes it clear that you can't impugn the motives of another senator, and you can't do it even by putting it in somebody else's voice, so it's a violation of the rules.
It was a clear violation, but Senator Warren doesn't seem to respect the rules as they are written. Now, you have not been a fan of Donald Trump's. But his cabinet selections are embraced by the majority of the Republicans holding office. What say you about them?
Yeah, I think he's named a lot of really, really strong folks. General Mattis, let's start there, is an absolute rock star. When you talk to people at the Pentagon who've worked there over the course of the last 50 years, there's probably no one who's been held in higher esteem there in 50 years. I'm 44. I know a bunch of guys my age or a few years younger who were at the Pentagon when Mattis was there. It was sort of end of their active duty careers when he was running the Marines. And a lot of them say if he'd lead men into battle today, they'd quit their jobs and try to beg their wives to let him go and follow him into battle. There's a lot of good folks like that. The Mattis-Tillerson axis on formulating a foreign policy for the age of non-state actors and cyber war and jihad. There's a lot of really good picks, but frankly, let's acknowledge the single most significant thing the president's done in these first 3 weeks, and frankly, maybe the biggest thing that any president can do in the next 3 or 4 years, is Neil Gorsuch is an absolute rock star.
All right, Judge Gorsuch
celebrate him.
Today actually criticized the president for his remarks about the judge who stalled the refugee thing. Let's get to that refugee executive order.
Sure.
You know, 7 nations, all of those nations are out of control. Anybody can get on a plane in Tripoli, go to Paris, change planes, and come to Kennedy in New York. You have objected to the order. Why?
Well, first of all, let's back up. I affirm the goal of what the president's trying to do. Fundamentally, we haven't taken borders seriously enough in this country for a really long time, and we need to do more rigorous vetting of people who are coming to this country, specifically from places where you have failed states. So Syria and Libya, where there isn't functionally any central government, you have terror training grounds. So the goal of the order is a good goal. I affirm the president's objective there. Now, the details also matter. We're the kind of nation that keeps our word, and we have translators who fought alongside American troops.
But that has all been corrected from what I understand.
And my criticism of the order was at the beginning that the rollout was so funky that it caused problems. There are a lot of details still to be worked out in the implementation. If you know people working in the airports trying to implement the order, obviously there's a stay in place now, but there are details that General Kelly is trying to get done. I think they're making a lot of important steps.
Okay. And finally, your overall assessment of President Trump. You weren't a fan, but he's in there for 4 years. How do you think he's doing so far?
Well, first of all, I think we need to do a much better job in this country distinguishing between campaigns and governance. We've had an election now. It doesn't matter whether people voted for Donald Trump or
tell me
Hillary Clinton.
how you think he's doing. Done a lot of things in 3 weeks. How's he doing?
He's disrupted a lot of stuff. I think some of it is really, really good. I think the regulatory reform pathways that they're on are really strong. I think his cabinet picks have been strong. I think his Supreme Court pick is a home run. I also think it's really important in America. I spend a lot of my time with students. When I'm traveling Nebraska, I speak at elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, colleges, and they don't know basic civics. They don't understand the First Amendment. They don't know why the beating heart of America is freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly, the right of protest. We need to celebrate those things, and I don't think we're doing a very good job of that. You mentioned last night's discord in the Senate. That's not celebrating the beating heart of America.
Well, I gotta go, but you're giving him a B? A B so far? A B?
Hey, we have 3 separate but equal branches. It's not my job to grab the president.
Not my job.
Root for his
the late
success.
Freddie Prinze, not my job. All right, Senator. Always good talking to you.
Thanks,
Directly ahead, shocking new poll out of Europe says Muslim immigrants are no longer wanted there.